He'll be in action tomorrow here against the Browns. And Tyler Boyd of the Cincinnati Bengals. Panthers won a shootout that day, 58-55 at Wallace Wade Outdoor Stadium. And here is Darren Hall out of the Pittsburgh timeout. And that is 6 snaps and about 38 yards now on this drive by Pittsburgh as Trayvon McSwain made the play from his defensive tackle spot. And there's a big look at 95, who played pretty well last week. 5 tackles in the loss to Virginia.
A defensive front that is very deep and athletic. They lost Serenord a couple years ago, or a couple weeks ago. Probably their best defensive tackle, the captain up front. You mentioned Humphreys.
That's a Rougeau Lopes in motion. Play fake by Pickett. Wants to cut it loose if he can. Backside throw and over the top of Trey Tipton. The 6-foot redshirt junior from Apollo, PA, the intended receiver. So now all of a sudden it quickly 3rd and 7, and for Pittsburgh just 41% on the year. And Duke, their last 2 opponents, James, are 16 of 34 against the Blue Devils.
Drop it in there, Kenny. Just drop it in there. What a great job by the offensive line. Nobody sniffing him. And he's got a guy running what will be a first down and a whole lot more. That's an easy throw and catch. Just take your time and lay it in there like you know you can. So now here's a 3rd down and long. Big play here defensively for Duke. Let's see if they can get off the field after giving up a little bit in the middle.
Darren Hall. Nope, this is Pickett keeping, and Kenny Pickett will score. How about that? How about that, James? 30-yard run for Kenny Pickett. He got me and all the Blue Devils.
Well, you set him up, you run that stretch play, and you have some success. You're going to get guys flying out of there. He reads it well, reading that defensive end there, and pulls it. Tangelo was his read, nobody home, and it's off to the races for Kenny Pickett. You don't have to hit that 2nd down play. If you're going to make that 3rd down play, it look that easy. Pitt striking first.
8 plays, 68 yards in under 4 minutes. Alex Kessman's point after puts the Panthers on the board. Kenny Pickett on the ground. And a nice block. Aaron Matthews out on the perimeter. 7-0 the Panthers. ACC football is presented today by your local Ford dealer. Kessman's kick. And this will be Deon Jackson off the 2. 20. Deon Jackson 30. And brought down from behind around the 37, 38-yard line. And back to Kenny Pickett's 30-yard keeper for the score.
Well, I get it defensively. You want to go make the play. You want to be the one to make it. These guys are going to go flying out. That's Joe Giles Harris right there and the safety. And watch the block right here by Pitt. Everybody flying over there trying to stop Darren Hall. Nobody left at home to stop Kenny Pickett. And a nice block on the perimeter. There you see the eyes of Pickett reading it, and he knows it's off to the races. Nobody going to touch him. Let's see now what Daniel Jones and these Blue Devils have for an answer.
So Jones, a redshirt junior from Charlotte. First throw of the day, offline, looking for the tight end, Noah Gray. So Daniel Jones, 6'5", 220-pound redshirt junior from Charlotte. And you see his numbers in 2 career games against Pittsburgh.
Wes, he does all the right things. He's such a good leader, such a good quarterback. Can spin it with the best of them. Big, strong guy, can run it really well, too.
2nd and 10, middle of the field. And that's Gray again. And boy, twice he's looked for Gray. That one goes 16 and a first down. And Duke's already got the tempo going. James, that's something you talked about last week in Durham.
Well, absolutely. Put it on him a little bit, and you're picking on Elias Reynolds. Remember, Wirginis, the senior linebacker's out. 44 Reynolds, the sophomore, filling in for him there, going over his spot.
Back across, this is Gray one more time. Picked up 6 there. It'll be 2nd down and 4. Duke with a sense of urgency here on the opening drive, already trailing 7-0.
And it's good to see if you're a Duke fan, sense of urgency, because at times it wasn't there in a big game last weekend in Durham against Virginia.
Quick throw, and they're trying to squeeze it inside, and that is Jonathan Lloyd, the Blue Devil quarterback.
Well, how many times have we seen Daniel Jones tuck that ball and go get the first down? This time, Pitt does a good job putting the pressure on, but also not letting the gate open and giving them free space to run. Big 4th down now.
Snap to Jones. Quick throw to the perimeter. That is T.J. ramming. First down inside the 35 toward the 33. Took a minute to develop, James.
Well, and Jones getting the protection that he needed, and a nice job by ramming. That's your go-to guy, the senior, hanging on to the football, and he wasn't there. It took that second effort to make that move and lunge ahead for a first down to get a fresh set of downs. Big-time play by the senior.
Jones from the gun. Gonna throw it away. Blue Devils. Dwayne Hendricks was the guy getting toward Jones, Rebecca, forcing 2nd and 10.
And Wes, players telling me this week they want to be more aggressive from the get-go, from the play calling to the physicality aspect of the game. And then Coach Cutliff said when the team got to work this week, the only play he showed the entire team during the film session was that opening kickoff of last week's Virginia game where they missed 6 assignments. Can't let that happen again.
Deon Jackson the carry, breaking free, and Jackson's momentum will carry him near the first down. James, looked like they had him trapped twice.
Absolutely. It looked like maybe a no-gain or even a tackle for a loss. But it's all Jackson right here. Way to keep those legs churning in the pile. He's not down to that whistle blows defense.
Here's Jackson, first down. Bumps inside the 20 to the 19.
I can't even begin to tell you how important this is for Coach Cutt's team. They want to be balanced. And by that, I don't mean they don't have to be 50-50. This is a throwing team. They're better at throwing the football, but just have the ability to go to it and make sure that defense has to respect it. They have to respect the run. Jackson's making them do it right now.
10th play of the drive for Daniel Jones and the Blue Devils. He's going to keep it this time. Jones will take on a man at the 10 and spin forward to the 6. First and goal coming up for Duke. The Blue Devils, who never got to the CPI Security Red Zone last Saturday at Wallace Wade Stadium, are here on their opening drive. And now Jones is going to flank out here toward the bottom of the screen, James. And here comes Quentin Harris, the number 2 quarterback in.
With Quentin Harris, number 2-0 as a starter. Daniel Jones, remember, had the broken clavicle, and there he sits lined up down at the bottom now.
That's Jones in motion. Harris on the keeper, and Quentin Harris scores. Quite an answer by the Blue Devils in 11 plays. And the game is on at Heinz Field.
Cold, wet Dookie's fired up. All right, Dookies, shoot. Look at Daniel Jones in motion there, and there's Quentin Harris. These two have a fun relationship. Talking with Coach Roper, their offensive coordinator, they really get on one another, teasing each other about who's better, and there's a good back-to-back run by the quarterback position in different guys. Harris sticking it in.
And the point after by Colin Wareham is good. Game tied at 7 on the keeper, and the second rushing score for Quentin Harris.
What a drive. What a drive to answer. Pitt going down and scoring first. It's Quentin Harris on the back end, but all together, start to finish, it is exactly what Daniel Jones and this Duke team needed. Been one thing if they would have just thrown it down there and made a couple plays through the air, but the fact that they got the ground game going really makes it for us an exciting game to look forward to, where you coming in, you think, gosh, if Pitt can stop the run like they did last year and like Virginia did last week, then it could be a long day, but this could end up being a back-and-forth excellent football game here today. And they're early going. It sure looks that way, tied at 7.
Well, we rolled the highlights from 5 years ago. That was a shootout, and early stages are. We've walked ourselves into another one here at least early, right? This series started October 1929 in what was the first ever game at Duke Outdoor Stadium, James, even before they put Wallace Wade's name on it.
Just outdoor?
That's it. Duke Outdoor Stadium is what they called it. Maurice French signals for the fair catch. So Pittsburgh's going to start at its 25, and time for a special edition of the Ford Key.
Yeah. You know who that is? That's Alice Cooper, the rocker, baby. He was in town, concert last night, and our Ford Keys to the game are Alice Cooper songs. For Duke, it's no more Mr. Nice Guy. They got to get mean. They got to get tough and dirty. It looks like they did that offensively on the first drive. And for Pitt, another title, Under My Wheels. Get that ground game going and just mash them today. And I think Alice Cooper likes that. He's pointing right at the keys. How about that? Gus Cooper.
Yeah, we really got to keep you in the hotel. First down carry for Olesen. He'll get 4. It'll be second down and 6 coming up. No more Mr. Nice Guy, huh?
Boy, he's a big Michigan Wolverine fan. So, so a guy after Rebecca Capel's heart.
Yeah. Second down and 6. No surprise, a lot of this ball game's been conducted on the ground. Pittsburgh, 6th in the league, 45th nationally at 191 yards a game. And Pickett wants to cut it loose. Going to take the deep shot. Taysir Mack was there. Overthrown, incomplete. Partisans here would like a flag. And Pittsburgh is thought they had a pass interference call a couple of weeks ago that went the wrong way when they were on defense at Notre Dame. And now
don't bring that one back up. There may have been some hands early, but you can even tell by the body language of Mack when he pops up. He wasn't interfered with. He just stumbled. You know, he's been banged up a little bit, so it's probably been a while since he's opened it up and go full speed. Nice job by Duke, because it was a hard sell by Kenny Pickett there on the run fake.
So here is 3rd and 6 now for the Panthers. Duke bringing pressure. Pickett moving around in the pocket. Cannot get away. Boy, that's a fine play by Chris Rump, who had a coming out party.
Just clinging on and holding on for dear life. He's going to come underneath. You know, he's a lighter body guy, and he does an excellent job of getting rid of the would-be blocker, shucking him, going down and flattening out and taking the right angle to make that play.
Kirk Christodoulou's punt toward T.J. Rammond. Will bounce inside the 35, and that's where the Blue Devils, who picks up a couple of yards, maybe one, to the 34. Boy, Jones fought hard last Saturday, James. Just could not get any momentum built offensively, could Duke.
Well, he helped them in so many situations when they had to have a third down conversion. Tucking that ball and running, they route them up right there, though.
Quick throw, another catch, Noah Gray, and that'll be a first down to the 44. Why the tight end here, James? 2 balls of 3 thrown right at Noah Gray here. Well,
and again, you're going over the middle in a pass situation. You've got Elias Reynolds in there, the middle linebacker. He's got to get underneath, get in that window. Hey, until they take it away, keep going at it.
Out on the perimeter, ramming a catch. TJ had 6 catches last week. He's had 3 or more in every Duke game this year. Comes into the contest with 30 grabs on the year. He's 17th in the ACC in yardage.
Grabs, they're hanging on. Last week, way too many drops for this offense in the Virginia game. They're hanging on to that football today.
Quick throw, Gray, another catch. First down for the Blue Devils toward the Pittsburgh 41. Fast-moving ball game here for the Blue Devils again.
Well, Noah Gray, Copenhaver, and Helm, they've got a bunch of targets at that tight end spot. Helm's been banged up a little bit.
This is ramming on the perimeter. Down inside the 30 goes T.J. Ramming to the 27. And Daniel Jones is cooking here early, James.
Yeah, methodical, just marching down the field, picking them apart right here and getting them on the go. Not substituting, so you're not getting a chance to get some fresh bodies in there defensively for Pitt.
Noah Gray's got 4 catches. Here's Jones, reset. Now we'll tuck in, get a couple more to the 25. And that's Reynolds, who James spoke of earlier, redshirt sophomore from Brooklyn, who's filling the role of Quentin Regenis, the Panthers' leading tackler, who was lost prior to the Notre Dame ball game.
I hate to see that, a non-contact injury in practice. But, you know, Reynolds and company, they've done a good job of staying in those rush lanes, staying disciplined.
Trying to get it back to Jones. He's going to cut it loose, and wide open in the end zone and dropped is Helm. Wow, it was right there for Daniel Helm.
We saw some trick plays last night. Boston College beating Miami. This is about as tricky as you want to get. Holding your breath seems like forever to develop, and at the end of the day, it's as easy as it gets. Helm, one of those guys who had a big drop last week. None bigger than that one, though. That's an easy 6 points, a beautifully thrown football. Now you've got a 3rd down and long. Oh.
Duke is 1 of 2 on 3rd down. They come in 9th in the ACC. Jones tried to dump it on the crossing route to Lloyd. It got deflected, I think, at the line.
And you know, it's like baseball. Hitting is contagious. The drops get contagious. And you better watch out because there's back-to-back drops. That's a senior right there, tight end. They had it drawn up perfectly for him. Zach Roper, the offensive coordinator. David Cutcliffe, just what they wanted, about to take the lead. Then they get another drop the following play by Lloyd. So here you've got a 4th down now, and they'll keep the offense out there and try to go for it. They need 7 yards. Don't let Daniel Jones sneak out of there and do it with his feet.
Pittsburgh brings 4. Jones in trouble, steps away from one side, can't get away from the other.
And it's going to be grounding because the ball didn't make it back to the line of scrimmage. Excellent job, relentless pursuit by Brighton Company.
Yep, Cam Bright, the redshirt freshman from Cleveland.
There's no foul on the play for intentional grounding. The result of the play is a turnover on downs. 1st down, Pittsburgh.
And see, there again, he's flushed. Sometimes you've got great defensive ends that can rush. But that doesn't do you much good if you've got absolutely no push inside. And vice versa. Here the initial pressure comes from the inside. Look at all the grass there on Daniel Jones' hat. It's going to be a long day and a whole lot more of that getting muddied up here in this dogfight back-to-back in the Coastal as we go down the home stretch here in the ACC. Nice play there defensively to get off the field on a turnover on downs. Pittsburgh.
They ran 43 yards in via 9 plays. But can't do anything with it, so each team's had it twice, and we're tied at 7. And here's Pickett sprinting out and throwing it away. Threw it over the top of Aaron Matthews, the closest Panther to the pass.
Well, and as he should, just covered, throw it, live to play 2nd down.
All right, how about our Aflac trivia question? Where's my man? There. Chair got away from him again. How many national titles has Pittsburgh won in college football? The answer is 9. The last one was 42 years ago, though, with Huntland, Tennessee's Johnny Majors.
Johnny Majors means a lot to Pitt. He also means a lot to the Duke sidelines as well. Coach Cup worked for him for under 10 years.
And the give is to Darren Hall. And here's a look at those national titles. Jock Sutherland, by the way, was the head football coach at Pittsburgh in 1929. They were crowned the national champs, by the way. Remember now, everybody had a service back then. They lost the Rose Bowl, went 9-1, but won the national championship. Wouldn't get that today, now would you?
Coach Sutherland also coached the Steelers here in town.
The man is a legend. It's a fabulous story in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette yesterday about Jock Sutherland. Here's Pickett. Shoots it across. Coming back here to the near side. This is Shockey Jock-Louis, the freshman from Fort Myers, Florida. Shaheem Jock-Louis. Boy, they like this youngster.
Well, a speedster and a good job there by Duke to keep up with them. Hey, you can catch all those underneath all you want. Got to come with the secured tackle and a nice job there to close and drop them in a hurry. And still a long way to go before the 1st down. Marquise Waters, the safety, on the stop.
And now Blue Devil is shaken up. And it's away from the play out about the 48. And James, it is Marquise Waters.
It was Waters on the stop there on that last play. And I don't know if he
was trying to get
off and never made it. Boy, these injuries just piling up. You know, and everybody's got them this time of year. But for David Cutcliffe, they've just been... They keep coming. May have landed funny on that ankle.
See anything?
Just,
well, now he's able to.
He's up and off. It just, for him to drop like that going off the field is.
Yep.
Yeah, there he goes hopping. So that's probably what it was.
Well, last week they lost Jalen Miller, the tackle, to an ankle injury. He's sidelined for the rest of the year. So Waters is able to get off the field and into the tent, of course. They'll check him out. Meanwhile, here's Ramming waiting on the punt of Christodoulou, the Aussie. Blue Devils came with an eyelash. Ramming going to let it hit, and it will actually take a Duke bounce toward the Blue Devil 42-yard line, and 7-all game. Well, hold on. We got a flag now. Post kick. And it looked like Chris Rumpf was getting into it with one of the Panthers. And let's see what David Epperly has here before we send it down to Rebecca.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct on Duke, number 96, 15-yard penalty, first down.
That'll back the Blue Devils up somewhere in the neighborhood.
Well, Rumpf can't believe it. And it looked like he was getting pushed the whole way through.
Ball will be about the 28-yard line.
So here they are, come right here, tangled up. Oh, well, there he is. Okay. That left hand,
George Aston, George Aston and Rumpf there, James. Wow.
Right in front, nowhere to hide, no piles, so right in front of the officials and cost your team a little bit what was going to be outstanding field position.
Final 95 seconds. Jones a keeper. Daniel Jones out to the 47-yard line. 19 the easy way for Jones. How about that play?
Absolutely.
Both quarterbacks here, James.
Don't sleep on him. Don't sleep on those legs. He gets so caught up with that arm trying to stop it.
There's Jones again, and maybe a yard, maybe not. Let's go back 2 snaps ago.
You get so worried about stopping the run. You know, here you've got a guy that you don't necessarily think of just on the spot as a two-way guy, a guy that can, you know, a dual threat, but he absolutely is. He's just such a good pass thrower. You fall asleep on him.
Flip it to Lloyd on the sweep. He'll shoot through a gap and get a first down. Pittsburgh's 36-yard line for Jonathan Lloyd, the redshirt senior. Noted sometimes for his blocking. Lloyd that time scooped the corner for 16.
Lloyd Christmas. Feels good mingling with these laid-back country folks, eh, Harry?
First down and 10 for the Blue Devils. Final half minute of the opening period at Heinz Field. And Deon Jackson squeezes off about 7 yards.
Still no Britton Brown, but it certainly hasn't mattered that much to this point. The sophomore in there running hard and behind an offensive line that has done a pretty good job here early for their quarterback and for their backs.
Final play of the quarter. That was the final play of the quarter. I think Daniel Jones might have lost the count on the first quarter period clock. And instead, we're tied at 7. Each team scored on their opening drive here today. Kenny Pickett went 30 yards. Duke converted a 4th down. Come out with tempo. Pittsburgh has been pretty methodical as well. The Panthers not quite as fast as Duke, but nonetheless very successful.
Well, passing yards look only 15 for Pitt, and so there's a run threat here for Duke, and it's paying off in the pass game.
Deon Jackson can't get anything going on 2nd and short, so 3rd and about 2 coming up. Hey, Rock, get away from the jib. Have to fill out a time card and sign a sheet if you're going to operate the jib, Rock.
That's right. Turn around and watch this 3rd down play. Your defense needs to make a big stop here.
Duke's 1 for 3 on 3rd down. Jones going to keep it, and Daniel Jones will have the first down. Fake the handoff to Jackson on that sweep, James, and just followed the block right in front. He had the tight end Noah Gray, I think, plowing for him.
Just reading it, and just enough. Everybody's got to freeze and respect. You've got your responsibilities. You've got to respect that sweep. It's not there, but it's enough time for Jones tuck it and go and move those chains. An excellent job on the play calling by Coach Cutt and Coach Roper so far. Jones going to throw, and that is Helm, his intended receiver. The tight end got caught up, though, with Damar Hamlin. Well, and here is where they got in trouble with the interceptions last week. There's the hit on Daniel Jones and this time he does put it in a situation where only Helm can go get it. But that deep ball, one on actually a similar type route, was an interception, and then one right down the middle where they went for the big shot. By the way, Britton Brown in the backfield with Jones and Jackson. Here's Daniel Jones again on the keeper on 2nd and 10. No gain there. So the first snap of the day for Britton Brown at the running back spot as Reynolds made the hit. 2 plays ago, he had no choice. He was going to get hit as he throws the football. But here he's not afraid of the contact when he's running the football. And just a few weeks ago, he was sidelined with the broken clavicle. Very tough kid. Well, they've got a tough 3rd and 10 situation with Pitt showing blitz. Jones shoots in the middle of the field, ramming. 1st and goal for Duke. T.J. ramming, brought down by Jazzy Stocker in the secondary. Well, your most reliable receiver, your go-to guy. Put a body on him. Find him. Those guys that are showing blitz, and then they come bailing out of it, get somewhere. Get to those drops in those right spots and get in those windows. The easiest throw for a quarterback, and Daniel Jones is a great one, is right across the middle. It's wide open for him and just too easy. There's Jones and giving way to Harris, and Quentin Harris as Daniel Jones came in motion again, and Quentin Harris picks up 3 on the keeper. Quentin Harris isn't just a running guy for Coach Cutt. He can throw some pretty balls as well. Threw some really sweet balls against Baylor in the win on the road. It's his 4th year in the program, so he understands exactly what's expected of him. 2-0 when Jones was sidelined. 11th play of the drive. Harris, another keeper. And he'll get pushed back by the Panthers there. Looked like Pittsburgh got Elijah Zeiss in there, one of the linebackers. And also Amir Watts, who's getting a lot of play today because Keyshawn Camp is sidelined. Their redshirt sophomore at the defensive tackle spot. So now Jones at quarterback.
Yeah, they're putting him right there.
Chris Taylor's gone to the top of the screen. Lloyd to the bottom and ramming in the slot. That's Deon Jackson with Jones. Going to throw for T.J. ramming. Over the shoulder, did he hold on? He did for the Duke touchdown. What a throw and catch there. What a beautifully thrown football. Damar Hamlin, the safety, is going to give chase the whole way, and he's right in the hip pocket of T.J. ramming. I mean, just drops it in. There's no room for error with this football. Even a little bit of help peeling off there once the ball is thrown by Deon Jackson. Just a money throw and a big touchdown for Duke. And the momentum with the guys from Durham right now looking pretty good offensively. 12 plays, 72 yards, just under 5 minutes the time of the drive. 5th touchdown catch of the year for T.J. ramming. And the point after by Wareham is good. Blue Devils go to the lead. Long drive. Jones to ramming, 14-7. Oh, a Toyota tweet of the week. Yeah. David Cutcliffe, Marilyn Payne at WRALSportsFan.com in the Raleigh area. Well, it's clipped the quote and put it on Twitter, and there's the press conference cut, huh? Yeah, well, it's a great point. Now, taking care of those big guys, and you see Daniel Jones slapping him on the back there as well. The kick to French, and now the dangerous Maurice French. Pulled down, boy, that's a great play by Jeremy McDuffie. Covering Maurice French on the kick return. Pittsburgh's going to start inside its own 15, Rebecca. And West, that Duke offensive line with a huge responsibility of mates. Not just a couple students there, a couple teammates. That really is awesome. Oh, my God. Just great. Here's Olison trying to get into the boundary on the first down carry. And looked like Dylan Singleton
You know, in West, those guys protecting Daniel Jones and opening up the way for these backs. Just to finish up on that quote by Coach Cutcliffe, who's always, you know, to pick his brain, it's always so much fun. What he's talking about is have you ever played against anybody that you're better than physically? If you're a better athlete and you're the same size, they put you on defense. If you're faster, if you can run. So you've got to whip them with your mind, heart, and body. Trying to get them tough enough, and they certainly have in this game so far.
Coming back here to the near side, they get it in the hands of French. Or no, yep, Maurice French sure was, and it's a first down to the 28. Boy, he's slippery, isn't he? Throw Phillipe Carter and Maurice French. I'd like to see that 40. Wow, look at that.
That first touchdown, or the first drive of the game for Pitt. And this offense, here they've got a fresh set of downs after the French carry. They've got to stay on the field. They've got to give that defense a chance to catch their breath. They've got to give the defense a chance to talk a few things over.
Olsen. And pick up about 3, maybe 4. Singleton the hit.
They're banging. We were expecting that. A very physical football game.
There's so many interesting notes here. Dylan Singleton, by the way, is related to Andre Powell, James, who is the assistant coach. He's special teams and running backs for Pat Narduzzi. And then we found out that Chris Rumpf, his dad, of course, who played at South Carolina, now an assistant at Tennessee, was in Texas with Sean Watson, the offensive coordinator of Pittsburgh. They even shared a house, right?
For a half a year. I mean, there are all these ties. I want to start singing I'm My Own Grandpa.
Second down. And the give is on the sweep, and this is the young man Carter. Phillipe Carter inside the 10. I'm telling you, French and Carter would be a heck of a race.
Wow, the freshman. He's just so fast and so tough on our defense in practice. The scout team, look, we've got to give him a chance. How's this for a chance? His first carry goes for a first down. His second carry almost to the house for a touchdown. The freshman, or fellow freshman, Grant Kerrigan, though, got to tip the cap to the backup tight end, getting in there and helping to set that edge, giving him a chance to get to that sideline and turn north and south. Big-time play for the youngster.
Darren Hall now. Little Wildcat set. Here's Hall. And, boy, Duke got back there and blew it up with Giles Harris. Phillipe Carter has touched it twice and made 2 big plays for Pat Narduzzi's team.
And just to recap, he was a guy that, you know, they're going to redshirt. He was over there on the scout team defense and said, hey, coach, can I play some scout team tailback? And they've been so impressed by him. There he is off to the races in the tightrope, walking that sidelines. And on top of all that, Narduzzi said, I've never seen him drop a football either when we put him out there throwing the football to him at receiver and out of the backfield.
Toss to Hall. Well, Duke did a good job setting the edge there, James. Going to be 3rd down now.
They string it out, and bodies flying, just swarming the football. Smart swarm. The smart swarm, as they call it, as they work on there defensively. Matt Guerreri, new defensive coordinator there. There's Singleton.
Hey, he's played well here early. 1 of 3 is Pittsburgh on 3rd down. 3rd down and goal, back at the 9. I'm not telling Sean Watson how to run his offense, but I might find a way to get Carter and French on the field at the same time.
Much as possible. We got some speed.
Pickett on the slant, offline, looking for French. He had gotten the inside advantage against Michael Carter, the corner.
Again, that's the easy throw. There you see. Boom, throws it behind him. It's just a... Pickett is a better quarterback than he's played here as of late. We saw him miss the 1 3rd down try early in the game, and here he's got that inside angle. They've got him beat. Defensively, you can't give away that throw. You can't give away that stick and that easy throw by the quarterback. That's what you preach as a defensive coordinator, but unable to take advantage of it is Pickett.
27 yards for Kessman. He's got 2 of the longer field goals in college football this year, James. That's where...
Is she going up there?
Well, she will now after seeing that. Here's Deon Jackson on the kick return. Jackson 20 and drives it to about the 28 or 29-yard line. That's where Duke will start. Well, week 9 already underway, James, and it headlines ACC stories. Will start Thursday night at Lane Stadium.
Well, it started ball as well. Couple big-time trick plays against the Canes, and that defense getting nasty as well.
Here's Deon Jackson on first down, breaking free. Deon Jackson. Can he get all the way home? Cannot. Knocked out of bounds right around the 12-yard line. Phillipe Motley might have saved the touchdown there for the Panthers.
Well, and there you see, I mean, just right up the gut and vision. How about the vision of Jackson? He makes the first move, what's going to be an 8-9-yard gain, and then the safety missing.
60-yard run, James. And here's Britton Brown. And Brown looking for the end zone. Down to the 2. It'll be first and goal. Damar Hamlin, the free safety, kept Brown from the end zone.
Quickly right back over it. Look at Pitt. No substitutions for Duke, so they didn't have to give him a chance. Pitt, good job with the change.
And Brown getting muscled in the backfield. Panthers having none of it on first and goal. Loss of 2 for Britton Brown.
Sometimes you get going a little bit too fast. Well, you can hear the pop all the way up here. An excellent job filling in there, staying up high. There's Brightwell, Salim Brightwell. There's hat to hat. Got to stay high when you're down there near the goal line. Can't let them fall into that end zone. Standing them up, and now it's second and goal.
Jackson's come back in the ball game. You see Noah Gray, the tight end, in the backfield as well. Jones, quick throw, threw it low. Gray couldn't scoop it. And now third and goal for the Blue Devils at the 4.
Patrick Jones providing the pressure and forcing Jones to throw it in a hurry. The sophomore from Chesapeake, Virginia. Back up to Rashad Weaver, who's been excellent. Another great sophomore. A lot of outstanding, some talented young guys on this Pitt defense and offense as well. We've seen some of the studs on the offensive side for both of these teams.
Duke's 4 of 6 on third down. This is third and goal. Play fake by Jones. Quick throw, rolling catch in the end zone. And that is TJ ramming again.
And that's the difference. Other end of the field, they had the exact same opportunity. Pickett couldn't find him, threw it behind his receiver, and Jones' go-to guy gets the inside track. Boom. Nice, easy throw, as easy as it gets. And how many times have they done that now? The quarterback and his senior receiver in ramming. And ramming, by the way, by ramming, he went this way. So Damar Hamlin's thinking that, but he cannot let him go inside. That's the easy throw for Daniel Jones. Wall it off, whatever it takes. Don't fall for that. Boom, it's just too easy. Just too easy for Jones. We saw it down at the other end where they couldn't connect. As a defensive back, you cannot fall for that and let him inside.
And here's French on the kick return. Out to about the 19, and that's where Pittsburgh will get started. Off the Maurice French return. And here's a quick check of the Atlantic. Clemson's gone to 5-0, 8-0 overall. Trevor Lawrence over 300 yards and 4 touchdowns, James. They hand Florida State their worst loss ever.
Wow. You know, and I thought NC State was going to give them a game last weekend. So take these guys out of there. And everybody else, I mean, how about Boston College? How about the job that they've done? Steve Adazio, and you know, a couple assistants have done an excellent job. Campanelli, the defensive back coach, his secondary is playing really well. Brian White, the running back coach, as well.
There's a quick throw to Olison, and Giles Harris will shove him out of bounds up at the 32-33 yard line. James, here's the thing though. Clemson is winning at such a margin that people are forgetting how competitive the rest of the league is, because when they get a challenger, they're hammering them.
Right. And it's, I mean, it really is. If you ignore that, it's like, and careful, whoever goes and wins the Coastal, you know, it's like, careful of what you wish for.
Right.
Because, hey, you get to drink from the fire hose. Is what it feels like anyway. Hey, but you got to be in it to win it, right?
Right.
Just give me a chance. How about that last catch by Olsen? Great hands to go back and get it.
And now he'll carry it and make a big move toward midfield. I'll tell you what, Leonard Johnson tried to tackle the runaway freight train.
Olsen is so much fun to watch. We saw him on the last play, the nice catch where it was a little bit thrown behind him. And here's the vision. And not only the vision to see where it's opening up, but also to bounce it out and go. Turn it up and go. Duke has been a lot more aggressive in this football game than they were last week. But a couple times on the big plays, they've been too aggressive. You can't go flying out of there and just open it up and let them get those big plays.
Darren Hall on the play fake. Pickett gonna dial French deep. Maurice is there, and it's caught.
There you go, baby, right there in the slot. It's a one-move go, and it's off to the races. Nobody's gonna hang with the best kickoff return man in the nation. 2 touchdown returns off kickoffs this year, and here, just when the Panthers need him through the air, they needed to get something going for their quarterback, Kenny Pickett, through the air, and the sophomore finds the junior, Maurice French, with an extra F for fast. Freaky fast.
Kessman to try and make it a 4-point game, and does. Third touchdown catch of the year.
Here's the freshman safety, Leonard Johnson. Johnson's going to open his hips the wrong way, and you're done. When he's got to recover that ground and spin around to the outside, you're not going to hang with a speedster like French. You right and turning and giving up the cushion, but you got to turn the right way. He opens up the wrong way and making him pay.
Jonathan Lloyd on the return. And not much more than the 20-yard line. By the way, 14-yard return by Lloyd. Pickett now 63 yards of passing in the last drive. Of course, the big strike to French. He had 15 yards of passing in their first 4 possessions. First 3 possessions, I should say. And here's our bad boy mowers covering ground. James, he threw this ball a long way.
A long way and right on the money. And Pitt fans, you got to hope that that's the play. That's the play that takes them over the top and regains the confidence of their quarterback, Kenny Pickett. They've got to get this pass game going. They've got such a good run game. They haven't always had to have it. But, boy, could they have used it last week against, or 2 weeks ago against Notre Dame.
Jones just offline for T.J. Ramming. Had Ramming caught that, he had already squeezed the inside angle on Phillipe Motley at the corner. And DeMar Hamlin was the closest guy to him.
You know, we drew on his 2 touchdowns, and it's kind of like fastball, fastball, fastball. I'm going to expect fastball, and they throw a changeup. When you get bit by an outside cut, you're going to cheat that way.
Here's Lloyd, or Deon Jackson, to about the 27. So 3rd and 3 coming up. Duke's 5 for 7 on 3rd down. Now, this is a team that was under 40% coming in, but had been 9 of 17 last week against Virginia. Four-point lead for the visitors from Durham. Jones, quick throw, ramming, first down. Duke has all 3 timeouts, James, and I mentioned that as we work toward 3 minutes to play here in the first half.
Well, it goes without saying. T.J. Ramming, the most reliable receiver. You know where he's going to look. You know where Coach Cutt wants Daniel Jones to go. You better put some bodies on him and know where he's running those routes. A good route run, nice timing by Jones. Nobody there for him.
Deon Jackson goes into a stack. And it'll be 2nd in the full 10. Blue Devils have been with this tempo, James, the whole ball game. And we saw a little bit of this last week, and you liked it when you saw it last week, right?
Oh, without a doubt. It's, you know, when you've got a defense on their heels, you keep kind of putting the pressure on them.
Jones got to cut it loose. Here's Lloyd the catch. That's a first down to the 44. Phil Campbell III was out there, one of the safeties.
Pressure was coming right in the face of Daniel Jones, staying in there cool and calm, surveying the field, and another easy throw and catch.
Clock toward 2 minutes. Jones now going to cut it deep for Taylor. Overthrown. Motley the closest player of the two, and that's the Pittsburgh corner.
Running those routes, we talked about this with Coach Cutcliffe here this week. It starts before the snap. You got to line up inside close enough to the thick of it that you're giving yourself a little bit of cushion, giving that quarterback a little bit of cushion and a spot to throw it.
Late fake to Jackson, shoots it inside. This is Bobo, and that'll be a first down to the Pittsburgh 39-yard line for Jake Bobo, the freshman at 20 years of age from Belmont, Mass.
Well, just again, eating him up. What's the easy throw? Right there, all day long. Daniel Jones right on the money, this time to Bobo. And if they're going to play off like that, keep doing it. Keep going right back to it until they step up and try to take it away.
Jones faked the toss and took a huge hit from Reynolds. Boy, Elias Reynolds has stepped right into the role of Wargenis when it comes to physicality, James.
Well, playing like a vet. What is defensive coordinator Coach Bates told us yesterday, and the shots, they're just piling up for Daniel Jones. He's
44 linebacker, come on.
Oh, you know
it gets you going, doesn't
you
it?
got Giles Harris on the other side. Don't get me started. Make me goose pimply up here, Wes.
Timeout taken by Duke. 68 seconds to go. Struggled, but Dungy just as dangerous. That's a nice problem for Dino Babers to have, actually.
Well, it really is. And you got to think that somehow, some way, Dungy's going to be involved in that offense. He's meant so much to that football team over the past couple of years. He's so tough.
Jones to his right, shoots it, and what a catch. Taylor tipping the sideline, falls out of bounds inside the 25. Daniel Jones' 8th pass of 10 or more yards here in this first half.
Well, how about this? I mean, just showing you all the tools right here. Daniel Jones in this game. We've seen him throw it with a nice touch pass. We've seen him run it here on the run. Just throws a strike, and Taylor knows just what to do. The senior, both feet down, securing the football. And Duke rolling here with still plenty of time. They'll take a look at it, but
well, they're going to look at this, and I don't know how far back we can go to watch Chris Taylor here. My question would be, did he step out of bounds before he reset? It was called a catch on the field, and that's always the standard by which, well, he looks in there.
Yep.
So
looks the ball in, secures it, and didn't seem to lose control as he went down to the ground. Tucks it away with one hand, so it absolutely
sometimes
should stand.
Those receivers get excited when they know they're going to go over there and nuzzle up on the sideline, James, and they step out of bounds on the way back to setting their feet. But didn't happen there. Or were they looking to make sure it was a catch? And he looked like he controlled it all the way. So that seemed to be fairly elementary. Unless they're seeing something we don't have for you here.
Well, Chris Taylor, senior, graduated in May, and degree in economics, the SAC president the last 2 years. Well, I don't think he ever steps out.
Well, then if they're looking for possession,
I don't know what they could be looking at.
David Epperly on the headset, talking not only with the folks here on site at Heinz Field, but also the command center in Greensboro. The replay official is Bruce Palmer here on site. And here is referee Epperly.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Please reset the game clock to 103. 103.
That answers that, then. They just trying to figure out where to put that game clock at.
James Duke's got 305 yards here in the first half.
Well, it's been a well-executed and a well-called football game offensively for Duke. And Pitt finding out here today how dangerous Daniel Jones can be so many phases of the football game.
10th play of the drive now for the Blue Devils. 1:03 to go. Jones shoots it to the far side. Deon Jackson, the running back, got 8, and a Blue Devil timeout. Stops the clock with 54 seconds left, and that is the first, I believe, second for David Cutcliffe. Well, of course, when you talk about David Cutcliffe, 64-year-old native of suburban Birmingham, you talk about the tutoring he does with quarterbacks. Daniel Jones, his latest, but the most well-known. Well, these two boys from New Orleans were pretty good.
Well, and the thing is a phrase Peyton Manning, Wes, is they'll around Duke practices, they'll just yell out, hey, Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning. And what that means is they'll even do a Peyton period is the focus on the little things in every phase of the game. Guys being crisp, guys being on time, running the right routes. And it's because whenever Peyton Manning in those pictures there comes around town and helps work with the team, it just stands out. Just what it means to him to do everything exact, everything precise. And therefore, the Peyton Manning phrase. And Coach Cutts coached a lot of great quarterbacks over the years. Maybe not as meticulous as Manning.
Here's Lloyd on a little rub. And he'll have the first down to the 11. Clock will stop with 51 seconds left. They'll move the chains, and Duke's right up on the line, ready to ride. And Jones is going to spike it with 43 seconds left. Second down and 10 coming up for the Blue Devils. Remember now, Duke gets the ball to start second half. They're trying for the double dip here.
Yep, and if I'm on that Pitt defense, Pat Narduzzi knows where's 3. Where is he? TJ Ramming? Boom. Put a body on him. Got to find him down near this goal line. He's been the go-to guy in all these situations.
Jones thought about it, dropped it, ball loose, and it looks like Pittsburgh's come up with it, and I think Dwayne Hendricks has it.
Huge.
How about that? Jones, I think, tried to re-grip it, James, and it came loose.
Well, he must have gotten excited, all that Peyton Manning talk, a former Tennessee volunteer. Dwayne Hendricks. Wow, boy, did the Pitt defense need that here. The end of this first half. Duke's knocking at the door. Watch that arm. Going to be a fumble. This obviously will be looked at. No, that he never even had it. Nobody even forces the fumble. Sure, there's the pressure there, but slipped out of the hands of Daniel Jones as he goes to throw it. And Johnny on the spot. This team has been a bunch of ball hawks, especially Rashad Weaver, finding those fumbles, getting on those fumbles defensively for Pitt. Big turnover.
Here's Pickett on the keeper, and he'll pick up right at 5 yards. So the fumble recovered by Hendricks. And Pittsburgh will use a timeout. They'll have 1 to go. 26 seconds left, and boy, it's been a busy first half, James.
It certainly has. Opening drive. Kenny Pickett, the quarterback for Pitt, getting things started on the ground. And then Duke answering. Quentin Harris, the other guy, throwing the ball and running the ball at quarterback for Duke. There's a beautifully thrown touch pass in the corner of the end zone. Jones to Ramming. And here's an easier throw, a little slant pass. So 2 touchdowns today for Ramming. And how about this one? Maurice French all the way down the field from Kenny Pickett, doing it through the air. So 21-17 with 26 ticks left here before halftime. Man, we were hoping we'd get a good football game here today.
Yep.
I think we've got it, partner.
We got football weather, and we got a good football game. Dwayne Hendricks, you see, after the fumble recovery, which, by the way, is Duke's 7th fumble of the year, their 12th turnover. Olsen running hard here. He will get out of bounds at the 32. It'll be a first down. There is a flag in the middle of the field with 20 seconds to go first half.
Personal foul. Illegal block below the waist on the offense. Half a distance to the goal. Second down.
So that more than likely will extinguish at least most of this threat.
And what it is just down the field. Beyond that 5 yards, there's well away from the play on Joe Giles Harris. Ben Humphrey's already banged up at linebacker.
It's Mike Herndon, the right guard. Big 66 out of Greenville, Virginia. Second down and 15. 20 seconds left, one timeout for each school. Olson. And he'll get to the 24, and unless Pittsburgh wants to stop it, and they don't, that'll be the final play of the first half. So Duke's going to take a 4-point lead to the locker room here at the half. 2 Daniel Jones touchdown passes, both to T.J. Ramming, and boy, David Cutcliffe's got to feel pretty good about where his football team is here after 30 minutes, especially after a disappointing loss to Virginia last Saturday. And he joins Rebecca Capel for our Coach's Corner, brought to you by Honda Dealers of the Carolinas.
Thank you very much, Wes. Well, other than that last mishap, your offense seems to be executing. What more can the D do to get some separation?
Well, I think the thing what our defense has got to do is stop explosives. That's obviously. Offensively, if we'll keep balanced, throwing and running the football, we're hard to defend. You know, it's a wet day, and the ball slipped out of Daniel's hands. We're going to come back strong. We'll be fine the second half.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, thanks to David Cutcliffe. The Hardee's ACC halftime report. Full report on Wake's win at Louisville and more coming.
Sophomore that's got so much promise and it has really been playing as good as anybody up there. Christian Harris filling in for him to see how they do to open the second half.
Here is Deon Jackson on the return of the Kessman kick. Trying to find the seam, and boy, ran into trouble at the 18, and then a couple more yards toward the 20. Boy, took a big shot from Coleman, who had the interception to end the Syracuse game here about 3 weeks ago. And let's get to our Honda Generators power play from the first half.
Daniel Jones behind him. Know where he's going. No, everybody's covered. He's going to tuck it and run, set up the touchdown. So doing it on the ground and on that drive, doing it through the air as well. Beautifully thrown football. There's the big left tackle. Harris getting down there and slapping hands.
Deon Jackson has come out of the game with a hand injury. Mateo Durant comes into the ball game. We'll keep an eye on Jackson on the Duke bench. Here's Jones on first down. Play fake. No, it is Durant, the freshman from South Carolina, who is noted for his athleticism.
Runs right into Idowu.
Yeah.
And no breaks when you ask the coaches about Durant. What's no breaks? Showing you right there. Had no intention of stopping. Idowu, hang on.
Jones faked the toss, and he's going to sneak out of the stack for a couple of more. And the Blue Devils have a third down coming up here.
And a big one, too. They're the leaders offensively for Duke in that first half. Find Ramey. Where is he? Where's number 3? In this set, boom, he's right up there. Inside receiver up top. They've got 5 yards to go. It's where they're going to break those routes off. Narduzzi needs a better performance by his defense in the second half.
Jones to throw. Wide open is Deon Jackson. He'll break free. Deon Jackson has green grass in front, and it's a Blue Devil touchdown. 74 yards.
Wow, what a punch to the gut, Pitt. You're going to get off the field. You got him stopped. Third down. Just find a way to make a play. They bring the house, and nobody's out there to cover Jackson. Deon Jackson, he's got the good hands. He was a wide receiver in high school until his senior year. Takes it to the house. You see him break that tape? I'll bet you that's for Mama. Mom was a track and field All-American at Miami. And his dad was a running back at the Citadel.
Wareham to add the extra point. What a momentum breaker that is. Lead back to 11 at 28-17. Deon Jackson.
Can you even score on it?
Doesn't look like it.
And I wonder, does the basketball robot ever miss?
Here is French called for the fair catch on the A.J. Reed kick. Let's go back to the long touchdown pass, 74 yards to Deon Jackson.
Well, Jackson back in. He's up top. Now you're going to see a corner blitz. He's going to come late, and so that leaves the safety at Stalker all to his lonesome. He's there. Go make the play. Got to make it. Got to make it. You can't. There's nobody anywhere close by. You have got to make that play. Even if you break down, use that sideline as your friend, as another defender. Get him out of bounds. Even if you give up 5 more yards, you got to come under control. He falls for the little shake, and it's off to the races for Deon Jackson.
A lot of numbers for Daniel Jones. Here's the first down carry, and this is French on the sweep. And out of bounds across midfield. At the Duke 47 goes Maurice French. Boy, speed guys are having a day here, aren't they, for both schools?
Well, they certainly are, and Pitt certainly needs it right now. What a big momentum boost for Duke. And very important right here for this Pitt offense to answer. It's an offense that hasn't been quite as crisp as Duke, but they've still come away with those big plays time after time to stay in this football game, and there's another one to start this drive.
Panthers have had a hard time in the third quarter and really the second half, and now French again. He'll slip down as he reaches the 36-yard line, but that'll be enough for the first down for Pittsburgh. So 2 carries by Maurice French.
I think he tripped over that 40. Look at Big Aston leading the way, getting his guy down. Whoop.
Yep, the 40 got him. By the way, Pittsburgh, James, they've been outscored 66-17 in the third quarter. The Panthers have been outscored 120-41 in the second half this year.
Turn that tide, starting right now. Kenny Pickett and company.
Olsen. And he's going to be hugged from behind and tackled by Victor Dimukeji. Big sophomore defensive end from Baltimore. There's a look at Victor.
Just one of the main reasons why this defense, when you look at it, it's a different defense than they've had there in Durham for Coach Cutton the last few years. Just very athletic and fast. The speed shows up on the defensive side of the ball. Drew Jordan, the other defensive end, they're a big reason. 2 guys that can really get after it.
Yeah, Hornbuckle as well. Terrell Lucas, Chris Rumpf, we've already talked about today. Second down, play fake, and a bootleg. Here's Pickett. On the throw, Olsen dropped it. Never got his hands on it as Singleton was closing for the Blue Devils. James, you mentioned Duke defensively. Jim Knowles, of course, who we always enjoyed visiting with, went to Oklahoma State in the offseason. Matt Guerreri and Ben Albert took over co-roles, and they've done a really nice job.
Well, Singleton does a nice job. Well coached here. He sees what they're trying to do there on the boot, and it's just nothing but catch-up. Would have been a short gain, and Olsen usually very sure-handed. We saw him catch the real tough one earlier that was put right on his hip. Help your guy out. Help your offense out. 3rd down and 8 now for this offense.
Hall in the backfield with Pickett. Kenny wants to cut it loose. Dimukeji almost got him. Flag is down. Pickett keeps. He's got the first down and more. Right at the 10-yard line goes Kenny Pickett. We'll see if it stands. There's a flag at the 26-yard line, which is near the first down.
Offside. Defense, number 33. Penalty is declined. Result of the play, first down.
So Leonard Johnson, the safety.
Pitt has done a good job of keeping Daniel Jones caged at times when they've got the blitz on. The pressure comes from up top, but there's nobody home. In the middle, Kenny Pickett sees it. He gets the first down and a whole lot more. Gets it down to the 10-yard line and into the CPI red zone. They're trying to answer on their opening drive in the second half.
Here's the inverted diamond. Hall on on the carry. First and goal, and crashes toward the 4. Trayvon McSwain, the tackle.
Coming at him quick with a different look, and nice job getting upfield there by Jimmy Morrissey, the sophomore center.
Well, we hadn't let up from the first half in terms of action, have we?
No. It's been a fun one.
Ball game going back and forth. Big plays, both schools. Second and goal. Padre Olison trying to get to the edge. He'll score. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Olison's 7th rushing score of the year.
Beating him to that corner. There you saw diving. The first attempt at it was Joe Giles Harris. Had to come underneath to give himself a chance, but then you got to flatten back out and try to beat him to that pylon. Nothing doing, though. The guy from Niagara Falls. Slowly I turn. I can't stop. I can't stop at Three Stooges references when you talk about Niagara Falls. You don't get it very often.
Panthers are going to go for 2 here to try and make it a 3-point difference. Keep an eye on Will Gragg, the tight end. That was him in motion. That's Araujo Lopes to the right. Pickett going to push it that way. Kenny getting to a stance. Wanted to throw back, now throws end zone. Wide open. Rafael Araujo Lopes for 2. And we got ourselves a 3-point ball game.
First they go on the ground. Olison, look at the big guys eating them up. Buxer and company up front to the pylon and a touchdown. And then doing it with his legs. Gagnon, the bad angle. More time.
Long after that, and that was Wallace Wade outdoor. By the way, 1951, Duke Pitt played in Pittsburgh. First nationally televised sporting event, live televised sporting event.
Wow.
By NBC Sports. Our director, Lonnie Dale, a part of the crew, James.
He was a veteran at that time.
Well, our producer, Dave Berenger, was in his swaddles as a child, but Lonnie Dale, he was there. There's a throw, and the tight end, Helm, the grab. Daniel Helm, that'll be a first down to the 46.
Jones going back to the other Daniel Helm, the senior. It's good to see, too, because we've had a couple big drops the last 2 weeks by Helm.
Tell you what, Deon Jackson's got 275 all-purpose yards today.
It can't give up any more big plays. Who's going to give up the big play, and who's going to cough the football up, turn it over? It's going to be the difference in this game, Rebecca.
That's right, and a lot of credit so far to Duke's offensive line this afternoon. I talked to center Zach Harmon this week. He said this week was a total refocus because they watched tape of last week, and he said they weren't playing with their pads down. So now it's back to the basics. Good pad leverage has been the goal all day long. I can hear them still talking about it out here. And Harmon said, look, it's simple, but it was a wake-up call.
Sure was. 2-touchdown win by Virginia. Here's Jackson trying to add to his total. And Deon Jackson to the outside. Look at this. Deon Jackson approaching 300 yards of all-purpose as he squeezes off another big play inside the 30 to the Pittsburgh 29. James, that's 21 more yards.
Well, Rebecca's talking about the blocking on the inside, but how about the blocking on the outside? When those outside plays, when they make the big hitters, it's because the receivers are blocking. And Chris Taylor, the senior who had a big catch earlier, was relentless on his blocking to help spring that one.
Play fake by Jones. Look for ramming. Now going to dial it back underneath. This is Lloyd. Jonathan Lloyd at the 10. The 5, and Reynolds takes him down at the 1.
What a difference a week makes up front. How about the guys up front moving their feet, using their hands? Jones had all day to try to find ramming. They had bodies on him, and why not? He scored 2 touchdowns. So he dumps it off down underneath. And again, Lloyd takes advantage of Taylor's blocking downfield. Look at him driving his guy all the way back to the goal line. That was Pinnock. And it's first and goal. Big play after big play.
And that's Quentin Harris for a yard. Maybe a little more. So Harris has come back in. Jones, the quarterback, one of the two on the field right now, is cut out wide to the left. The way this game's going, Harris is going to throw it to Daniel Jones.
There he is, way up there. Wouldn't be surprised. We've seen it just about everything so far.
Harris going to keep it, and he'll score. Second rushing touchdown of the day for Quentin Harris. That gives him 3 on the year. And we've had 3 second-half possessions and now 3 touchdowns in this ball game.
Back and forth we go. They didn't do a very good job of shutting down the big plays on that drive. The turnovers. You got to hold on to this football. Quentin Harris getting in there, spreading out that defense. And nobody more fired up watching Daniel Jones run in from his wide receiver position to cheer on his partner there in Quentin Harris.
Colin Wareham for the point. And that makes it now a 10-point game again. 35-25, and another look at Quentin Harris.
Just gives a fake like he's going to take it outside, freezing everybody and just beating him to the goal line.
You're right, Quentin. You're exactly right. Well, Sonoma's greatness made here. And, of course, when you come to Pittsburgh and we told you earlier in the first half you talk about national titles. How about Huntland, Tennessee native John Majors? James?
Well, yes, sir. Back up for the Heisman Trophy his senior year as a football player at Tennessee. And, well, the connection not only with Pittsburgh, of course, and all the success he had here as a football coach, but the connection across the field with Coach Cutcliffe. He said, you know, I recruited this Pennsylvania area so hard for so many years because I learned so much about it and so much about the people and how tough the kids were from Johnny Majors. But talked about, you know, just maybe the best, strategically the best football coach he's ever been around. Coach Cut said of Johnny Majors.
French. And no return, so the ball will be at the 25-yard line. Johnny Majors played at Tennessee, as James told you, twice the runner-up for the Heisman Trophy. James, his dad Shirley was an outstanding high school coach. And, of course, he coached twice here at Pittsburgh in a long tenure at Tennessee.
Yeah, my dad coached.
That's going to say, right?
Yeah, oh, yeah. I remember as a youngster going to practice and Coach Majors sit up in that tower with his bullhorn. Well, they just letting them all hear it. He recruited me.
Is that right, to UT?
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
Well, I'm glad I didn't listen to that guy. No disrespect.
No. Here's Cadre Olison on first down. Oh, tackled high at about the 27. And let's see who's first off the stack. Teravon McSwain, and there is my favorite name in the ACC, Axel Niembwe. Young man from Bethesda, Maryland. Look at one. It looks lonely on that jersey, doesn't it?
It really does. It makes him look skinny, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's thinning. Are you serious? That's your favorite name?
It's one of my favorites in the ACC, absolutely.
I don't know. I think mine.
I just like Axel.
Yeah. You can't go wrong with Axel anytime. Mine's Shocky Jock Louis.
Yeah. Who also is playing a big role in this game. So is Phillipe Carter. Look at that. Another first down play for Carter, who's had 3 carries and 3 first downs today.
Well, and another great name, V''Lique. Boy, every time he touches the ball, something big happens today.
11 yards there.
You sure you only want him to play 4 games this year? Can you be patient enough?
82 yards today for Carter on 3 carries. He scored touchdowns 4 different ways in high school, and now we got some movement, and I'm not sure if this is on McSwain or if they're going to tag Alex Buxer.
Well, no, I think what it is
offside defense, number 1, 5-yard penalty.
Niembwe.
Still first down.
Well, he jumps it. If he gets back, they're going to let him run it. And look at Buxer. Buxer acts like he had no choice but to jump. So it's a smart play by a senior offensive lineman.
Yep.
Get you a free 5 yards. You see him, though? I mean, come on. Buxer, with, you know, we're a little disappointed in the mullet. We saw him walking through the parking lot the other day.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been much of a mullet here this year.
Not nearly as spectacular as it was a year ago.
Oh.
Olison trying to get to the edge. Oh, Gagnon, first guy there. Singleton there. And then Giles Harris with Drew Jordan and Dylan Singleton out in space started it, and then the parade showed up. Look at all this chaos.
It's taken a whole lot to bring down Big Quadri Olison.
Well, Drew Jordan got his money's worth, didn't he? Giles Harris, God, what a nice guy, James. We met him in July at the ACC football kickoff. Had a suit on, you know, very calm, soft-spoken. Gets on the field and becomes a terror.
Yeah, flipping that switch. No more Mr. Nice Guy, huh?
Thank you. Olison, first down, midfield and more. Quadri looking for the cutback inside the 35, down to the 31. And it'll be a 1st and 10 for Pittsburgh. Leonard Johnson, the safety, the tackle. And Olison's going to work today.
Well, going to work behind those big bodies up front. Look at him, look at Aston. He's got his guy. Bookser eating him up as well, blocking down the field. Well, Olison is a man on a mission every time he gets the rock in his hands. So tough to bring down, especially when he's got all those bodies up front fighting to clear the way for him, making the big plays happen on his own. And there's a look at 19. All eyes on Phillipe Carter.
Coming up on 5 minutes to go here in the 3rd. Here's Carter again. Coming near side, splits the difference. 10-5, touchdown. You can't coach what he's got, Banks.
Pure speed. His first action, they couldn't keep him off the field. Look at him high step after the big block down the field. And it's a touchdown for Phillipe Carter, the backup defensive back. The scout team wonder when he gets a chance to play offense. They had no choice but to put him out there. I think they might lose him on the defensive side, Wes.
Kessman's point after good. Back to a 3-point game. Phillipe Carter. I've waited all year. Making it count today at Heinz Field. Deon Jackson out toward the 30. We got flags. We got helmets off. Jackson's near the 30. We got a little extra pushing and shoving. It looked like Chase Pine lost his hat. There's the big linebacker from Williamsburg, Virginia, who transferred in the program from Lafayette.
And the back up to Reynolds. Both of them filling in for Virginis. There's how the helmet comes off.
Jacob Morgenstern.
Oh, my goodness.
He and Jake Bobo getting their money's worth.
Holding on the return, team number 19. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Only a holding call, James.
Well, you sure it's not 30 yards for assault. Here's the touchdown. Let's go back and take a look at it. And watch the blocks now to help spring. Boom, stop it right there, guys. 1 and 2, you're going to get, and that's all Phillipe Carter's going to need to split it, making one guy miss, falling down. And, oh, by the way, I'll need one more. Thank you, sir, for walling it off down there low. And strolling into the end zone, Trey Tipton, the wide receiver, that last block, setting up the wall. And the edge. What's that number for Carter, Wes? On his 4 carries?
4 carries, 115 and a touchdown. Daniel Jones, 3-point game to work. And in traffic, nice catch. And that was Ramming, I believe. Yes, TJ Ramming's having quite a day.
Okay, where's the defense? Who is going to make a stop? Everybody's trying to hold serve now. We're going back and forth with these big plays, the high-paced offense. Who's going to make it?
Ramming, the intended receiver, Deon Jackson on the coverage, Rebecca.
And guys, this Pitt defense sick and tired of this back and forth, much like the Duke defense probably is. One of the leaders on that Pitt D, Shana Dowu, came right over to the bench, told his teammates to wake up, including himself. The offense is doing its job, and the defense really needs a stop, guys.
3rd and 4 after the incomplete pass. Duke is 7 for 9, and now Pittsburgh wants a timeout. So Pitt's going to take a timeout. 3rd and 4 coming up. James, this is some kind of football game here today now.
Well, it certainly is. And just to take it a step further, Rebecca, it's at least keep them in front of you. You know, hey, if you don't stop them here on 3rd down, don't give up the big play. We've seen it time and time again, even with a great quarterback like Daniel Jones. He's had trouble turning the football over. Had the fumble down on the goal line in the first half, the 2 interceptions last week. Make them drive, make them work. Make them make some mistakes. Don't give up the big play. And boy, wouldn't it be nice, Pitt Panthers, if you can find a way to make that big play right now and get up on the field, get your offense, Kenny Pickett and company, back on the field, trailing only by 3.
Duke's last 3 touchdowns have come on third down plays. Jones throw and catch is made, and that's Noah Gray, who started the ball game offensively today with the first 2 balls from Daniel Jones being thrown to him, and now he converts a big third down.
Wow, timing route, absolutely. And it was good coverage. They had to make sure they took away the inside cut. They did. He broke it off outside, little out route, moving those sticks.
Jones, this is Lloyd. Quick shoot to the near side. Jonathan Lloyd breaks free. 30, 20, Lloyd 10. Touchdown, Duke. How about Daniel Jones? 4 touchdown passes now for Jones, and his 8th career touchdown pass of 50 or more yards.
Daniel Jones' offensive line doing a great job of getting out there and helping on this little pass that's going to take it to the house. Look at Lloyd go, splits the defenders, and again, the big play. There it is. Make them march, make them drive the entire field. This is a team that held its own in South Bend against Notre Dame 2 weeks ago. They can't stop them right now.
Point after is good by Colin Wareham. 4 plays, 80 yards, 59 seconds. 11 straight completions for junior quarterback Daniel Jones. And the lead is back to 10 for the Blue Devils. And they've had some shootouts since Pitt joined the ACC, and James, we're in one today.
Well, here's another look at it. Here's another look at it. Watch the big bodies, the big offensive linemen getting out there and double teaming. And it's, again, it's splitting the defenders. It's a similar look to Phillipe Carter's touchdown on the other side. You got good blocking by your teammates, and you split them, and then you just go. Just turn on those jets and go. Take it to the house, and look at Lloyd over there, patting those big dogs on the back. Boy, has that offensive line really turned it around after their performance last week. Not over yet, though. Still a lot of ball to be played.
James Tom Kasimpa's tallying our numbers today. 11 of 16 drives today have resulted in scores. There have been 10 touchdowns, and we're full of big plays for Duke.
Yeah, and too many, especially if you're Pat Narduzzi, a defensive-minded head coach. And you know what? Deon Jackson's done a fantastic job. He's left a couple times with some injuries, right back at it. There's Lloyd. Lloyd's been big throughout this game, and here's one more little screen pass to him, and look at the big guys out there getting a body on a body, and then it's number 5 doing the rest of the work, beating them to the goal line.
Olsen. And he'll get 6 on first down.
Boy, that's fun to watch. A guy that just runs like that. After the initial lick, Olsen, he isn't just falling forward for another 1 or 2. He's charging forward for an extra 4 or 5. And Lucas shaking up there.
Terrell Lucas, sophomore defensive end from Hollywood, Florida.
He's a little bit tougher than the Lucas of that Corey Haim played in the 80s movie Lucas. He wasn't quite the football player I'm guessing that Terrell Lucas is. That was Corey Haim, right? I want to make sure I get my Corey's right.
I think you're right. 10-point lead as Lucas gets from the field, and of course our Logan's Roadhouse look ahead next Saturday. They'll be at Hard Rock. Be an interesting Miami team they'll see, won't it? Just from the standpoint of their struggles the last couple of outings. And then at number 2 Clemson, who is taking no prisoners now.
Rivalry game mixed in the middle of it.
French, he will have the first down. Got across the 35.
Oh.
And looked like Brandon Hill, one of the linebackers, got tangled up over there in the bench area with Maurice French.
It's getting chippy, but guys, you got to be smart. I mean, this game is so close, back and forth we go. You got to be careful with the extracurricular, and you know, it cost your team. Get a 15-yard penalty, big flag thrown on. You got to be careful.
First down. That's a Rougeau Lopes in motion. Play fake Pickett. Wants to cut it loose, running out of room, and throws it into the Duke bench. 2nd and 10 coming up. Nice day for Kenny Pickett, James, but it's a managed nicely ball game. He's not trying to do more than, you know, where he's pressing. And I think we've seen games this year where he has pressed a little bit for Sean Watson, his offensive coordinator.
Right. He had the big hitter, the touchdown pass to French, the 50-yard reception. He's trying to get him into a nice groove, throwing the football. It was good coverage by the Duke defense last time.
And this time Maurice French over toward the bench area again. He'll have 6 or 7 yards. It'll be 3rd and relatively short. Dylan Singleton, the tackle, and Pat Narduzzi, of course, now in his 4th season. You see his schedule remaining 3 of 4. Only the game here in 2 weeks against Virginia Tech. And Pittsburgh's going to need to find a way to win today to match the Hokies at 3-1. Or else they'll fall into a tie with Miami, who was 2-2 after the loss at Chestnut Hill last night. By the way, 956 combined yards of offense today between these two. Pickett, 3rd down, batted away. Hill got a hand in, and now a flag has come in. Dontavius Butler-Jenkins was the intended receiver. And David Epperly.
Pass interference. Defense, number 32. Ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Well, and I think what they're calling there is the initial, when he goes on the cut, the reason that he has such good coverage, because I just saw the end of it. I thought, oh no, this isn't a good flag, but it is because he grabs him. He grabs him when he comes out of his cut. Otherwise, he's going to be wide open. So I think it's a good call. It was a little late, which is, I think, what surprised a lot of the Duke Blue Devil fans. Well, there's a big one. Bails him out, too, on 3rd down.
Sure does. Aston, the fullback in motion. Darren Hall. Here's the single setback for Pittsburgh. That's French now. Hall gets the carry. Breaks free. Darren Hall trying to chug out. And does inside the 35 to the Blue Devil 33. Waters, the tackle for Duke. 254 last year, 18 here.
Yeah, and he's had to watch the whole game while Olison has had the hot hand, and that's who Coach Watson, the offensive coordinator, promised. Hey, that's the way we're going to do it. It's, you know, there's no secret to it. Whoever is rolling, we're going to keep them rolling. So imagine being Darren Hall. Hey, what about me? 254 yards and 3 touchdowns last year. Give me a chance. Give me a chance. And he makes it count there on that carry.
Coming up on 90 seconds to go in the 3rd, and here's French on a sweep. Trying to keep his balance. Giles Harris, the first Blue Devil there, and then Waters with Johnson and Hornbuckle and Fry, a young freshman they're excited about.
I thought you're going to name the whole roster. There's so many blue hats over there. Good job, not only by Giles Harris, but also by Leonard Johnson, staying outside, keeping that corner short, and boom, coming in and cleaning it up, the rest of the crew. Marquise Waters and company, but a good job closing, too, by one of the top tacklers, not only for David Cutcliffe, the top tackler, but in the nation and in the ACC, in 44, Joe Giles Harris.
I think Cut was asking about that pass interference call when we saw that shot a moment ago. Pickett wants to throw here. Looking downfield, that's Taysir Mack, and it's incomplete. A lot of hand fighting going down the near side with Singleton. Mack has been out of the lineup, James, for the last couple of ball games. Transfer from Indiana, from New York City.
Well, and it's been the ankle, and there have been a couple balls that have been thrown just a little bit beyond his reach, and you almost wonder if he's not quite full speed. He's the guy that Kenny Pickett really counts on to go up and win those 50-50 balls.
3rd down. Pickett sets and incomplete. Intended for French.
He had his guy too. Again, another throw. The easy ones. He made the difficult one, the big long bomb to French, but there have been too many easy misses if they want to stay in this football game. Daniel Jones is making those throws. That one, you know, going across the middle, I don't know if sometimes you say got a hand on it, should have catch it. I don't know that that's doable, thrown behind him like that. Too many misfires.
Kessman from 54. He's hit from 55 and 54 this year. Got two of the longest field goals in college football this season. Snap. The try is away. And it's good. My goodness, just add to the list. Alex Kessman. He had 55 and 54 against the Orange. And how about another 54-yarder?
And not to mention the shortest one against the Orange that sent him into overtime as time was expiring. And that 55 yards, by the way, that he kicked against the Orange, this one just a yard shy of that, is a Heinz Field record, not just for college teams, but for all the NFL greats that have come through here as well.
This is 6-0 now, right here. Man.
I thought I was going to hit the net.
That'd have been good for Moon Township. My goodness. 9 plays, 39 yards, 326. This is Lloyd on the kick return. And about the 22-23. 28 seconds to go in the third quarter, and tell you what, week 10, we're headed to the Twin Cities. Eric Dungy in the Orange. Move over to the Atlantic Division next Saturday, James. We'll see you at high noon for the Orange and the Demon Deacons. Greg Dortch, yes, but how about Matt Colburn, who went for 243 yards and 3 touchdowns. The Deacons had 591 of total offense today. And there's the look at the electric Greg Dortch.
Well, trying to wrap up Greg Dortch and the rest of those Demon Deacons today. Brian Van Gorder's defense, well, had all kinds of trouble.
Jones out of the way and almost intercepted by Adowu.
How about those numbers for 17? 25 of 36 for 4 touchdowns. 7 times. He's gone over the 300 mark in football.
4 touchdowns, a career high for the youngster from Charlotte. And tried to keep it there on 2nd and 10, and I think that'll be the final play of the period. It will be 3rd down and 11 for Duke. Final 10 seconds here of the third. And they're going to let the clock wind out. So we go to the Dave Berenger in our 5 years together.
Oh, we're going to miss that dude.
Yes, we are. 3rd down here to start the 4th. 11 for Duke. And batted away on a ball intended for ramming. So Duke is going to punt it to Pittsburgh here at the start of the 4th period.
Well, that's what you need.
And there is Dave. Hey, how you doing, big boy? How about that?
I miss you so much it hurts, Dave.
Hey, Dave. Before Duke punts, I want to show you what your friends did for you today. Look at this. Art Chase of Duke and E.J. Borghetti of Pittsburgh commemorating your last broadcast today of ACC football. They got you some personalized jerseys. How about that, huh?
We all think you're number 1, Dave.
Yeah, Dave, you're number 1. Not Larry Fitzgerald, you are. Here's the punt. First of the day, by the way, for Austin Parker. And it will be fielded by Araujo Lopes at the 40-yard line. So congratulations on a wonderful run covering ACC football and basketball to Dave Berenger. And we're going to miss you, my man. I think Bates is going to miss you more, though.
Without a doubt, no shame in my game. I miss him already.
Yep.
Yeah,
great fun and great passion for ACC football and basketball. We know you're moving on to more fun, but We're going to miss you.
Wait, what's that? I just got a text from Narduzzi. Dave, take off that corduroy jacket, put on that jersey. He needs you on this series. He needs your speed, baby.
Pittsburgh at the 41. We're going to the wire today. Pitt's got 432 yards of offense, and that's a season high. Pickett looking for the home run ball, and Mack could not hang on. Crossing route. Josh Blackwell, the redshirt freshman from Buford, Georgia, was right there with Taysir Mack.
Well, he waited a step too long. He gave the Duke defender a chance and Blackwell to catch up. They had him beat. He waits just enough, and again, well, I take that back. That's Mack, and that's one that needs to be caught. I thought it was broken up by Blackwell. Blackwell was beat. That one a hair behind, but still, that one is one that needs to be caught. Help him out. Help him out.
Second down and 10. Olsen found the cutback. He's got 5, he's got 10, he's got 14. First down, Pittsburgh. Marquise Waters, the bandit safety, the tackle.
If you're building a football team, this is number 30. This is a guy that you would want to build a football team around. I mean, just you talk about setting the tone and just running his guts out. Every time Olsen gets the ball, he's just churning. And then you got the 1-2 punch of Hall. We talked about all the damage that he did last year. Here they'll go empty.
Phillipe Carter in motion. Here he comes again, James. 5th carry of the day. And the first time Duke's been able to get around the freshman Phillipe Carter. I thought they were going to throw it to him for a second.
Yeah. Fooled me 5 times. My fault.
Ooh.
Looked like he slipped a little bit trying to make that cut.
Yep.
But that blue wave was on its way there, led by Joe Giles Harris, and making sure they took the right angles. They're going at that inside hip of Phillipe Carter. Do you know what that means in football, by the way, Wes? If you only wear one eye black patch and turn it upside down?
No, what's that?
It means you can really go. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that.
Is that right?
As if you didn't know.
Yeah. Here's Darren Hall. I know he can go. He'll be just short of the mark. So third down coming up. Phillipe Carter's had quite a day in his first college football game. I mean, where do you start, James?
Well, he had the 4 carries at one point for 114 yards. Thought he was going to take it to the house here. He's cut off by Leonard Johnson. And on this one, 30 yards out, he does take it to the house. Look at him high step into the end zone. First touchdown of many, you got to believe, for these Pitt Panthers.
Pistol set here for Pickett with Darren Hall. Hall will get the carry, and he will have the first down. Got to the 35. Giles Harris, the tackle. There's a look at Phillipe Carter, who had, because of his defensive and special teams prowess in high school, scored touchdowns 4 different ways at West Palm. Boy, they're excited about him. Randy Bates, the defensive coordinator, said, I think I've seen the last of him on my side of the ball.
Yeah, he was good about it, though. A lot of defensive coordinators would fight to keep him over there. You've got a head coach, too, that's, you'd like to think with this defensive mindset, it's going to lean towards you a little bit, but there's no denying that guy. With the ball in his hands.
Play fake to Olsen. Pickett wants to cut it loose. Going to for a Rougeau Lopes and just overthrown. Waters was in stride defending. Well, we got flags everywhere. Got 2 of them.
And holding. Offense. Number 78. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Alex Books are the right tackle.
There he is right here. The big senior tackle. And, well, he's smart enough to know when he's beat. Come on down here with me, Axel. Let's live to play another down.
Niembwe, by the way, the guy who was charging through. Pickett, by the way, is 0 for 5 throwing the football here in the second half.
Now you get yourself in a situation with that penalty, the first down and 20. Not so sure you can get it just by running the football on 3 straight downs.
Kadri Olsen on the run, spinning away. Big fella with a stiff arm and down to the 20. What was that again?
Yeah, I take that back. 30's back in the ball game. Look at it. First down and 20. Man, now we're in a bad spot. They get a good block on Giles Harris. Buchser is that one making up for it. He leads the way. Spitting out his mouthpiece.
James, he got 131 yards. That's the 8th time he's had 100 yards or more in his career. 3rd this season.
Keep handing him the rock. Keep handing him the rock. Keep giving it to those guys in the back. Hall and Olesen both.
Here's Darren Hall. Spinning around toward the 16. Gain of 4. Almost 4 minutes gone. 4th period. Pittsburgh trying to buck and trim. They've been outscored 54-24 in the final period during the regular season.
And look at this as we go down under 11 minutes. I mean, trying to go in and tie this football game up. You see how big that stop was? Finally, a defense gets a stop.
Give, and this is Carter. Inside the 10, 5, diving. Touchdown, Phillipe Carter. Buckle up, kids.
Speed kills. Look, he's got to make 2 guys miss, and then he needs some help on the outside. Look at him go up airborne for his 2nd touchdown here in his first college football game, and he even caught his mouthpiece when he spit it out there. He can do it all. Wow. 2 guys had him in lockdown in the backfield. Could have, should have been a drop for a loss, and the speed of the youngster makes him pay. Wow.
8 plays, 59 yards. They're reviewing whether or not he got in. The ball breaks the pylon. It's called a touchdown on the field.
Okay, so here's the deal. And the only look that is going to change it is the best look we have down that goal line. The ball, as he goes out of bounds, the ball has to cross inside the pylon as he lands out of bounds. Does that hand go down?
Yeah.
The hand's down in the end zone, or is it on the line?
Well, the hand breaks the plane.
But the ball needs to break the plane inside the pylon.
That's correct.
In that situation. Now, if the hand...
I mean, how do you know?
Well, it's ruled a touchdown on the field. And
right.
You look at it there, and what's going to happen here is you're probably going to get the verbiage, the play stands, because there's no definitive look to turn it over.
Look at the runs today by Carter, by the way. 11, 62, 11, 31, 2 yards, and 16 now for this score.
2 yards. What a loser. Man. Are you kidding me? Gosh. I mean, so you've got 3 more games you can play him in. Here's a look down the sideline. Again, you can't quite tell. So I'm saying that this touchdown is going to stand. They probably won't say confirmed.
Long look for David Epperly across the way.
You know, and again, if you weren't around in the first half as we wait here, the story is on Phillipe Carter. He's a backup defensive back. And he's done so much damage as a scout team tailback.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
That last look right there certainly looked like it might have made its way over the pylon. Wow. And French giving him a handshake and a 3 amigos salute.
I got to tell you, what a show he's put on. What a show this game's been. Kessman to tie the game. Kick is good. Phillipe Carter. I'd like you to meet the rest of Park, and they've got statues of Honus Wagner and Roberto Clemente and Willie Stargell. And I mean, James, it's just a treat to come to Heinz Field and be a part of the atmosphere in downtown Pittsburgh. They've done a great job in this city too. It's fun to be downtown on our visits here.
And on top of it, the gravy on top of all the greatness this weekend is the leaves are turning.
Yeah.
Beautiful color. you know, it is a somber afternoon as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Just what a terrible situation this morning, just in praying for all those people affected with the shooting here in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
It's so many wonderful things here in this city, and gosh, you hate to see something like that. It's just awful.
Our Toyota Let's Go places the Great Hall here at Heinz Field. Now Daniel Jones and Duke in a tie game, and Deon Jackson picks up 5 on first down. Boy, we have had some numbers today. Deon Jackson, by the way, is trying to become the first Blue Devil since Roger Boone with 100 yards or more rushing and receiving in the same game. Here's Jackson on the ground, and he's got blockers. Shoots through midfield. Deon Jackson reroutes to the far side and into the Pitt territory, down to the Panthers' 20-yard line. Deon Jackson in high gear.
Well, right on cue. We put up those big playmakers, and we get another big play, another explosive play by Deon Jackson. Doing an excellent job filling in for Britton Brown today.
50-yard run for Jackson. Jones, the quick throw on the perimeter. This is Lloyd, who's also had a huge day. Inside the 10, first and goal, Duke right back on the move.
Here's the play before. Again, take some blocking down the field, and they get it thanks to Jake Bobo a little bit there, and then changing the angles on everybody is the sophomore Deon Jackson.
By the way, Jonathan Lloyd's got his first 100-yard receiving game. Here's Jones. Calls his own number. From the 9, he'll get 3 to the 6. Second and goal coming up. Tie game as we work toward 9 minutes to play at Heinz Field.
As they get down here low, remember in the first half, it was a fumble by Daniel Jones right at the end of the first half. Gave Pitt the football back. Take care of that football as Quentin Harris now comes in to take this snap.
Yep.
There's Jones up top.
That's it. Harris will keep it. And Pitt rallies to the ball. No gain on the play. Might even lost a half yard. So third down coming up. Sean Idowu led the Pitt tacklers. David Cutcliffe and Pat Narduzzi locked up at 42 all. Harris comes out. Bobo has come into the slot, James, with Lloyd to the right and Taylor here to the left, and Jackson in the backfield.
Manning not on the field right now.
Third and goal. Jones for Lloyd. Broken up on the play, and that was Motley. Here comes Colin Wareham for the field goal.
Nice job by the senior from Columbus, Ohio. Gives up that inside cut, but makes up for it. Comes over the top, rips it away. And a big stop to force the field goal try. Defense finally stiffening as they get down there in the red zone.
25-yard try for Wareham, his longest of the year. 35 at Waco against Baylor. Kick is away, and it's good. Duke back in front. 8:07 to play. 25-yard field goal, 3-point lead. For
they hold Duke to a field goal there.
I mean, it's unbelievable how many big plays.
Well, and it's, you know, it's really poor tackling, and it makes it fun for us, but defensive coordinators. It's just a nightmare the way they've tackled.
Here's French. He can run, flag down, and knocked out of bounds near the 45. There are 2 flags. One at the near sideline, one out near the numbers. And the field judge reports to David Epperly.
There's no foul on the play for holding first down.
Well, here's Kadri Olison back on the field.
Well, he hasn't been off of it much today because he's had the hot hand between the 2 backs, he and Hall. Look at Bookster and these guys, his receivers as well. just helping him out with the big blocks. Trey Tipton has done an excellent job. Hasn't caught any balls today, but blocking down the field as well. And there's the fire. That's the kind of fire you want from your leader, the senior running back from Niagara Falls. Setting the tone. He's in there right now, the lone back behind Pickett.
Olsen. And he'll get a couple, maybe 3 to the 47. 2nd and 7. Coming up. And James Conner, Kadri Olesen, Darren Hall. Today the world met Phillipe Carter.
Yeah.
They've got a young guy they're excited about who we heard about earlier in the year, and that's Michael Salahuddin from Washington, D.C. And Sean Watson's got a lot of toys in his closet, doesn't he?
Yes, sir. Shocky Jock Louis.
Oh, yeah. Tosses Olesen. Right side. First down. Old Kadri came up hobbling. Ooh, that looked like a stepped out of a tackle. Was that like a stretch of the hamstring here, James?
I hate to see it. He certainly pulls up. He grabs it. Yep. You hate to see that. Now, fortunately for Pitt, Darren Hall can get it done. 254 yards in the win over this Duke team down in Durham last year. It was a time the Blue Devils were 16th in the NCAA against the run, only giving up 108 yards rushing a game. There he is.
Here's Hall. Boy, nice play around the shoe tops by Brandon Hill, the linebacker. Redshirt sophomore from Orangeburg, South Carolina.
He shows up, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, and they liked his speed, but he's also just gotten better at his technique, I think.
Well, Hill and Gagnon, 2 sophomores. The future, if you will, Ben Humphreys, the senior leader, the captain right there in the middle that makes all the calls. He's number 2 on the tackle charts, unable to go after the injury last week.
Carter on the sweep. Keeps his balance. Oh, no, that's French. It's Maurice French. And he'll have a first down inside the 25. French and Carter have been a handful today.
Defensively, if you get a guy on you, it's not illegal to get off of him. And finally, you're getting off of a block there, and that's Marquise Waters. But it's a little too late. Refuse to be blocked. That's just, I mean, that's where all these big plays now are starting to come from. It's either a missed tackle, a bad angle, or it's more of a want-to from the offensive guys blocking down the field. Get off of them.
Pitt's got their most rushing yards in a game, James, since 1976. They got 455 yards on the ground. And here goes Hall. Down to the 17. That's a gain of 7. 2nd and 3 coming up. 3-point lead for Duke. Coming up on 5 minutes, Rebecca.
And guys, we're here on the sideline with Kadri Olesen, who is getting dealt with right now. You can see his left hamstring just got wrapped with black tape, and he's doing some stretching. He's been doing a few agility drills. He's not taking that helmet off, though. I'm pretty sure he's determined to go back in, but we'll find out shortly.
All right, thanks. 2nd down and about 3. Kerrigan, the tight end, in motion. Play fake to Carter. They hand it to Hall. Darren Hall, 1st and goal, Pittsburgh at the 8-yard line. Leonard Johnson, the last line of defense for the Blue Devils.
You know, you got to respect that jet sweep look. It freezes you. You got to give it a beat to look, make sure that the speedster isn't taking the ball. And then you get a lapful of Darren Hall, 467 on the ground right now, trying to grind it and ground it into the end zone and retake the lead.
The pitch, Hall hurdles a man, touchdown. Flag down, Books are shaking up the right tackle.
Holding. Offense.
Wow.
Number 66. 10-yard penalty.
Mike Herman, the right guard. It will negate an incredible move by Darren Hall.
It was out of the frame and all for naught. That beautiful leap. And again, look at the blocking down the field. Aaron Matthews, I think that was, in the end zone. So Hall's got to catch his breath, and his team now regroup. Buchser did go to the sidelines, by the way, so now without their big senior there on the offensive line.
Yeah, Bryce Hargrove has come in to play that right tackle spot for him. They try to get it to Carter. Two Blue Devils there. Phillipe Carter still manages to pick up a couple of yards on the play. Joe Giles Harris, part of a Blue Devil tandem that was waiting on the speedy freshman.
But again, how many times? Look, we got. They don't even put a body on someone. They just rely on Carter to beat that first guy. And many times we've seen him. Hey, it's up to you. Beat these two guys, and then you're going to have a chance. The second wave does a nice job there of coming to the rescue and beating up on the little man.
Trey Hornbuckle got just a piece of him, James. Pickett to Hall. And Duke rallies to the football. No gain, maybe a loss of one. And now flag has been thrown from the end zone. So penalty marker here. Let's see what David Epperly has for us.
After the play, personal foul, offense, number 2, 15-yard penalty. It will be 3rd and goal.
Maurice French, post-scrimmage here.
I didn't see it. Did you see it?
I did not. I don't know if we've got video of anything.
Wow.
But we'll see.
Right side of the screen. Here he is right there coming in.
Oh, Leonard Johnson.
Gosh, again, not too long ago, it's getting chippy. Don't do it. Resist it. Look at what he cost his team. Now remember, it's 3rd down and goal. You're down 3. You've got a kicker in Kessman who's kicked more 50-plus yarders than anybody in school history, including a 54-yarder today.
Pickett going to take the shot, looking for Mack, and incomplete. In fact, Mack had run out of bounds. Josh Blackwell was there defensively for Duke. So now here is Kessman to try the long field goal to tie the game with 2:39 to go.
Well, and a nice job by Blackwell, the redshirt freshman. Hey, run him on out of bounds. Again, give yourself that padding. Give your quarterback some padding and a chance. Blackwell, a nice play. And how about this now? Remember, he kicked in regulation against Syracuse to send it into overtime after the 55 and 54-yarder.
This is 48 now to tie the game. Kick is away, and it's good. That had a little knuckleball on it, didn't it?
Yeah, I thought we were at PVC there for a second. Not here at Heinz Field. I mean, it's going left.
On it, if you will.
It really did. You should have seen his reaction there going over to the sidelines. His coaches, I think he thought it was going left as well.
Look at Pat Narduzzi. Is that going to be good?
Take it.
Deon Jackson at the 8. And Jackson sneaks out to about the 30, Rebecca.
Well, guys, this Pitt team supporting one of its brothers today, wearing a decal on their helmets with the initials AO, and it stands for Alex Officer, former offensive lineman who had a fantastic career here at Pitt before graduating last spring. Officer was recently diagnosed with cancer. He is finishing up his first round of chemo. This team, of course, thinking about him and his battle every single day, and we certainly wish him all the best.
Absolutely. Good football player and great leader for Pat Narduzzi. Deon Jackson working on a career day. And he's going to get it out to about the 33. It'll be a gain of 4. It'll be 2nd and 6, and the clock winds. Duke's got all 3 timeouts. Pitt has only 2 here, and remember the Blue Devil kicking game is not nearly as electric as Pittsburgh is. Jones wants to throw, shoots it, ramming wide open to midfield. Out of bounds he goes. Under 2 minutes to play at the Duke 49 for TJ Ramming. 9 catches today. That's a career high.
Well, the go-to guy again with nobody anywhere near him. Daniel Jones going to take advantage of that all day long. That's his man. He's up top in the slot right now.
Play fake again by Jones. Pressure coming. He's going to throw it over the head of Taylor and out of bounds, and he did so as he was going down in the arms of Dwayne Hendricks and also Rashad Weaver. Both 8 and 17 had peeled in from the defensive end spots.
Needless to say, Jones getting it out of there, out of harm's way. He feels the pressure coming, which hasn't been there that often here today. Launching it out of bounds. Don't turn it over. You can't afford the turnover right now.
Jones, play fake. Threw it, caught. No drop, Ramming. I thought TJ Ramming had reached behind to haul it in around DeMar Hamlin. And now 3rd and 10.
Now you're going to have to stiffen up. Again, you've got the inside cut. You've got that throw that's been there for him way too much today. And off the mark, here Daniel Jones. You haven't seen that too often here this evening.
Duke is 8 of 12 on 3rd down today. Remember, they've got 3 touchdowns on 3rd down. Crowd roaring at Jones. Pitt brings 4. Jones sacked. And a flag is thrown on Amir Watts. First sack of the year.
With Pat Narduzzi holding his breath, not sure where this one's going.
Holding on the offense, number 63. Penalty is declined.
Loss of 9.
Boy, just when they needed to start putting the heat on Big Daniel Jones, this defensive front for Pitt. You mentioned Amir Watts with the sack. He had an interception against Syracuse. Right there into the face. Pressure coming from Pine as well.
Timeout taken by Pittsburgh. Fourth and 20. And the sack of Daniel Jones might have grazed by the face mask, so Pittsburgh avoided a penalty of their own there, James. But the hold, or the sack stands. Penalty declined, so here is Austin Parker to punt.
Well, definitely a good no call on the no face mask, and I think that's why they were holding their breath over here. You could see the tension on the sidelines of Pitt.
Big play by Amir Watts, who's playing for the injured Keyshawn Camp today, and Rafael Araujo Lopes, who averages 9 yards of return, waits on just the 2nd punt of the day by Austin Parker. In a game full of big plays, who's going to have the last one? Parker's punt is not very good. It takes a big Duke bounce, though. And it will stop as the clock continues to roll with 1:14 to play. And the Panthers will take over at their 18-yard line. Now, you just set the table a moment ago on how they got Pittsburgh to overtime. The long Kessman field goal. And now all of a sudden with 1:14 to go, James, and 1 timeout because Pat Narduzzi used a timeout there a moment ago. Now here is Kenny Pickett, who has not completed a pass in the 2nd half.
How about that? And how many yards of offense in that 2nd half?
A bundle. They've set the 2nd highest performance in school rushing by Panther team, and there's his first completion, and Darren Hall running free. Hall to the 40 and out of bounds at the 42-yard line. And now with 1:05 to go, they're closing in on Kessman's range.
Well, love the play call. They're going to have their ears pinned back, coming after that quarterback, trying to get off the field. Little screen thrown in there. Down to Hall, and he's doing the rest. Hall in there, of course, for Olesen, who went out of the game earlier with the hamstring injury, it appeared. Don't know that we'll see him again, but don't know that it'll matter if Darren Hall can run like he's run against these Blue Devils in the past.
That's 24 yards there. Minute 5 to go. Pickett in the pocket. Can't afford the sack. And he'll be tackled behind the line. The clock will continue to move. And there's the last Pitt timeout with 57 seconds to go.
We tried to find it at the break. Why they burnt that timeout, why they had to burn that timeout on the punt return, and couldn't find it. But they should have two right here, and now they're out of it. So now a little bit more sense of urgency, and a good job, the hustle there. It's Rumph, the first one in there. He won't be credited for that sack. It's Fry, but it's the hustle by Rumph, who was picked up actually by Hall and continued to fight and send Pickett out of that pocket.
Tie game at 45, under a minute to go.
Would you talk about the drama in the Coastal off the top of the show here today, Wes?
Sticky. Ooh. It's all sticky. A Pitt win today, they would tie Virginia Tech. They would be a game back of Virginia in the win column.
They got Virginia next week.
Sure do. Friday night at Scott Stadium. Pickett going to cut it loose. Arugio loves a catch. 41-yard line of the Blue Devils in front of Waters.
They'll set it and the clock will go. How about Lopes? Arugio loves using his body to wall off the defender. He was covered, but not to be denied. He was going to catch that football. Excellent play by the receiver and a good throw.
Pickett on a three-step drop, middle of the field. Catch is made, and that's Trey Tipton down to about the 36. It would be a 53-yard try right now, maybe 54.
Got to keep it clean with the penalties here, too. Remember, there's the 10-second runoff if you get a flag thrown against you.
Pickett up in the pocket, going to run with it. First down. He'll slide down at the 24. David Cutcliffe has 3 timeouts. 17 seconds left. Clock runs. Pickett will spike it. 13 seconds to go now. How about this? Still only completed 2 passes, right?
Like Paul Johnson and Georgia Tech type numbers. There he is, 3 for 3 with a long of 54. Well, you got to be careful now with just 13 ticks left. You get caught in bounds and no timeouts.
Well, I got to be honest with you. They're out of timeouts. I might kick it here.
That's what I'm thinking, too.
I might kick it here if I'm Pat Narduzzi, but now the one thing Pittsburgh can't have is a sack, James. Here's Pickett. He's completed 3 passes in the drive. He'll fire one to the end zone. French is there. Touchdown, Pittsburgh! The 4th completion of the second half from Kenny Pickett might be the game winner.
And all 4 of them coming in the waning moments of this football game. The ball he never loses control. Even though you see that point is going to pop up a little bit, it never hits the ground. An excellent job of looking it in and securing it and making sure that he never loses control. And how about Kenny Pickett? It hasn't been the easiest day for the quarterback throwing that rock. But when it comes down to crunch time, he puts it right on the money for his big play man, Maurice French, number 2.
James, a team that had been outscored 54-24 in the fourth quarter.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed.
Touchdown for Pittsburgh. In the second half, 6 possessions, 6 scores, 4 touchdowns, 2 field goals for the Panthers.
Well, he looks all right now, doesn't he?
7 plays, 82 yards, a minute 9. Pitt with 355 second-half yards, and the point is good. What a moment for Kenny Pickett and Maurice French.
Well, how about the trust, too, that Watson and Narduzzi put in their quarterback. Just a beautifully thrown football. We've seen Daniel Jones drop so many in here throughout the day. Gagnon with the pressure came 100 miles an hour right in the face of Pickett. Stands in there strong and drops it right into his junior receiver. Oh, wow. Well, they're rocking the Sweet Caroline now. Nice pickup there by the back. I believe it was Hall, too, to pick up a hard-charging Xander Gagnon.
Tell you what, great pictures by our crew. Director Lonnie Dale today and our tremendous ACC football crew here at Heinz Field. We have seen some kind of ball game. Kenny Pickett, 4 of 5 passing in the last drive for 72 yards and the touchdown. Now, 5 seconds left, so Duke with timeouts, and they burn one here. Now, Alex Kessman, I'm sure, is just going to skip this somewhere along the ground. And then Duke is going to have to find a way.
Well, it's been done. And it's been done, Duke fans, to those Blue Devils. Remember Miami a couple years ago?
Yep.
How many laterals was it on the kick return?
I think 8. And it was ironically against the Blue Devils.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're right. And Corn Elder was the guy that finished the play at Wade Stadium. Well, just dialing in, we're tied at 45, and Kenny Pickett to Maurice French. Second time they've connected today. The numbers in this contest are out of control.